lovely people. I'm back with another general reading. It's been a while and I don't want to make this a really long intro, so I'll keep it short and sweet. But I'm here, with another general message. This time I don't feel like doing them based by elements or specific zodiacs. I just want to do general reading for anyone watching. If it resonates, it resonates. That's great. If it doesn't, then I'm sorry. There are plenty of other readers to connect with out there. And if you want a more in-depth, much more personal reading, then of course you can go to my website, edenofnubian.com, and book a personal with me. And so, let's get into it. I'm going to start off by pulling your first 3 cards. So let's see what we have for the collective. Oh wow, this is I was just about to say, shit, this is taking its time. We have the Hierophant. Ooh. The 7 of Swords. And the 4 of Wands. This is some very interesting energy that I'm starting off with. Oh my god, I completely forgot to say, I just realized that I'm going to be doing these in groups as well, so it's not just going to be one massive reading. It'll be split up. So this is group 1, by the way, and there'll be timestamps. And so very interesting energy, I must say, group 1, because this Hierophant with the 7 of Swords is interesting, because on one hand I'm getting a sense of this blockage, perhaps in the form of maybe somebody trying to deter you or even kind of put you off of either choosing to go forwards with higher education or go forwards with a particular pathway in your work here, or even I want to say something that you're like studying or researching here for their own reasons, whatever it is, and I feel like on one hand as well, with this 4 of Wands, this may come from maybe a very close figure in your life, perhaps even a family member, and they may even be somewhat using these tactics of perhaps guilt tripping you and making you think, okay, maybe that you're being selfish, that you're not considering them or the family or something of that nature, which is quite interesting. I've never really picked up on this before. Well, that's sort of what really jumped out at me first. But regardless, focusing first still on this Hierophant card, it is representing you coming into a space of a lot more, I want to say, self-discovery as well. And with that being said, maybe actually part of these discoveries that you've been making is recognizing the connections in your life, recognizing perhaps who you're speaking with and who you're sharing particular things with, that may not have, of course, the best intentions here for you, people that may be trying to again steer you off course here. But you've got to stick to your guns here, because at the end of the day, I feel like what it is that you are working towards basically is part of your own foundation. It is part of something that you will perhaps go on to continuing for a very long time. But not only that, one that's going to provide you with a lot of fulfillment, a lot more happiness, give you a reason to be more rejoiceful, let's say, even. And as well, for those that are maybe literally going into education or still studying, or are looking at as changing work here, that 4 of Wands can represent again this sort of celebratory energy in you completing, let's say, your studies, or you finally getting this new opportunity here through again your hard work, through your own growth, and through what you've chosen to learn and really grow from, basically. But that 7 of Swords is quite interesting. It does feel like there may have been some sort of weird sort of shifty energy maybe around it. And I also actually just sort of it just came to me as well that this for some of you, I feel like is also maybe representing, you know, you starting to come to terms that, you know, there are certain people who don't really maybe express their happiness or this joy for you when you are succeeding, when you are shining, you know. It sort of reminds me of, you know, those people that tend to come about in your lives that seem to only always be there when there's drama or there's, you know, sort of challenging or difficult situations and energies to deal with. But when you're sort of on the come up, when things are going good for you, it's like they're nowhere to be found, or they're suddenly silent, you know. And so yeah, it's about now really really considering those sorts of people in your life, you know, and whether they're worth sort of continuing on with, basically. But let's keep going and see what else we have for group one. Ooh. We have the Wheel of Fortune. The Queen of Cups. And the Ace of Cups. This is so interesting, and because this feels very kind of specific, in the sense where, just sort of based off of what I was just talking about with the previous cards, really does feel like, yeah, maybe there's this specific feminine motherly figure maybe around, again coming with this guilt, coming with these tactics, maybe to kind of deter you off from maybe expanding your own horizon, maybe whether that's again for you moving, or again you choosing to follow like a particular path. Because here comes this Wheel of Fortune now, literally talking about these shifts that are coming your way, you know, that you're experiencing, also again your need and your willingness to go along with it, to not fight these changes, or to not allow again these blockages to sort of occur here. But it's interesting because that again, that Queen of Cups still does represent, at the same time, I want to say your energy too, and a reminder, I want to say specifically, to make sure that you're nurturing yourself and your needs, and through that, yeah, putting yourself first, and the things that you want and the things that you know are going to be really good and that are best for you. So being that Queen of Cups, in essence, to yourself, and then yeah, having that Ace of Cups talks about through that maybe developing and bringing forth these new beginnings through emotional fulfillment now, and you feeling a lot more happier, feeling a lot more uplifted, because you know you've chosen yourself, because you've allowed yourself to go further, or go where again your heart has been really calling you to, basically. And yeah, that Wheel of Fortune is really talking about as well, the idea of fate, and essentially again trusting spirit, trusting the universe to lead you in the right direction, and with all these cups as well, you know, really talking about your own intuition and a voice as well, and that need to really listen to it, not to suppress it, and to certainly not let anyone else suppress it, as well, from making you again make the right decisions that are for your higher self, that are your highest good here. But I definitely feel like you have it in you to do that, basically, and that Four of Wands just makes me feel like you will still have your own sense of stability. You have your own sense of strength as well, I want to say, just off of your own. But even if, you know, other people fall away, or other people choose to be upset, or whatever it is with you and your own decisions, it's a real big F you, but with love sort of vibes that I'm getting. And interesting, at the bottom of the deck is, yeah, that Eight of Swords, and I was just talking about making sure you're not, you know, that there's no sort of limitations sort of around you. Or did I say that, or at least I was thinking about it, that you're not like at least putting on yourself, you know, from going forth, and again listening to that voice and what you need. But let's get just a few more to finish group one, and we'll pull one oracle as well, actually. Almost forgot. Oh, that's way too many. Let's just get one, just get a few more. group 1, sorry. Okay, we have the 9 of Wands and the Hanged Man. Oh my God. There was a lot here that fell out, but look, the way I picked it up, it was like this. So we'll keep the Emperor. And yeah, very interesting, because it's basically again coming as this this sort of reaffirming energy of you know, protecting your own, really standing up for yourself, I want to say, especially with this 9 of Wands, you know, and really again stopping at no sort of cost here. But with that Hanged Man, it's interesting because again, this is about this change of perspective. Now I was mentioning, you know, people or situations falling away from you, whatever. This is also what that Hanged Man can also be talking about, in that sense of sacrifice, you know, and again doing what needs to be done for your own better good. And again, with that Emperor, it's like, yeah, you're really taking control again, you're really putting your foot down. This is you also, I want to say, having built something great for yourself too, perhaps even from, you know, that Hierophant card that we got at the start. But a lot really, I want to say, begins to shift and change as well when you allow yourself to look at a person maybe differently and truly see and acknowledge their intentions or their behavior, their treatment towards you, and what you want for yourself as well. And then yeah, again, just with that 9 of Wands, it's that real sort of fiery energy of again protecting your own, really defending and standing up for yourself, for your beliefs, for anything as well, like that. I don't know why, yeah, I just mentioned beliefs as well, just briefly and quickly. If any of, again, this sort of challenging energies with other people concerns your beliefs and things you're trying to get into, again, big F you, but with love. Let's quickly get one last oracle now. We have grief. Interesting. And it says, I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. And yeah, it definitely feels like, you know, you're really moving forwards and doing what you got to do. And as it says, if it means there is some sort of loss at the end of this, you still take something away from it, you know, and that could even be, for some of you, the fact that, hey, you're finally able to identify maybe for the first time that something's not right here, or you were able to finally for the first time, you know, again, be assertive or put your foot down with something, you know, that's still somewhat of a positive to, you know, take or at least make from a quote unquote bad or sort of negative situation here, or the feeling of loss, you know, to any degree. And so yeah, it's been quite interesting. That's what we have for group 1. Hope it helped, hope it resonated. And yeah, let's move on now to group 2. Oops. So group 2, let's see what we have for you guys. We have the Star and the not the Hierophant, Hermit. That was in the last group. And one more. Oh, jeez. Well, sorry. Wait. The 8 of Swords. That didn't actually come out in the first group's reading, but it was at the bottom of the deck and I briefly referred to it at one point. So interesting, and maybe somewhat of a connection, maybe a bit of relevance to the first group for some of you that also chose group 2, so you might want to check that one out. But yeah, group 2, you have the Star, the Hermit, and the 8 of Swords. And first thing, I don't know, that really jumped out to me when the Star and the Hermit came out, especially because they came out together, was spiritual enlightenment or awakening here, let's say, for some of you, because that Star card, you know, really representing a lot of clarity, a lot more peace and balance as well, sort of coming towards you. I feel like it comes through this Hermit, you know, and you taking this time out, you know, creating your own space to connect to your higher self, to, oh my God, Neo, stop, to connect to your own spirituality, and maybe even particular things that you've been trying to heal. And it's interesting, I feel like this particular journey maybe that you've been on has been obviously somewhat of a difficult journey, because I feel like there has been a lot of maybe self restriction or constraint that has been in the mix, let's say, just because we have this 8 of Swords. And so for some of you, I feel like it maybe comes from you being a bit fearful or sort of anxious of wanting to explore something more, explore a spiritual calling that is really sort of tugging you, because let's say you've had a particular belief for X amount of time, and it can be daunting sometimes to move on to another faith or belief, or to at least take interest in something that may conflict with your current beliefs, or when it comes to like people around you that want to sort of impose their beliefs, and because traditionally it's something you've grown up with, or culturally, let's say, and yeah, so it kind of comes from this place of you therefore then maybe not allowing yourself to step forwards to these callings, or allowing yourself to really discover more what's really part of you and your soul and your spirit here. And so it's definitely encouraging you to sort of remove that there, and it really stems from the mind here, I want to say. And it's just understanding that maybe for even some of you, oh god, this is getting a bit deep, for some of you, oh my god, I want to say that a lot of this is perhaps necessary for you to remember that maybe partly of what you have believed up until this point, that's kind of been conflicting with you now, with these newer feelings or these new interests. I feel like some of it may have been really, really projected onto you, and it's like making me think about, okay, well, are these even truly your own beliefs at the end of the day? And if you think back and really feel like, no, actually it's not, it's definitely time for you to sort of leave that behind, and yeah, really step out and step forward away from that. So that was really interesting that I got that there. But yeah, that Hermit card is very very introspective. It's about really going within, and taking that time and that personal space to really connect. I feel like again, maybe some of you may have felt quite alone, maybe, and quite sort of distant on this journey. That's something that's quite natural, and happens to almost everyone, basically, I want to say, on their journey. But it's not that you're ever truly alone at the end of the day. And I feel like at the same time, while you're perhaps sort of in this sort of energy maybe of the hermit, I feel for some of you it may be really good to start considering as well, like just your own energy, and your protection, and making sure you're cleansing and stuff like that. I don't know, I feel like just with this star card here as well, it's making me think of that again, that sort of rejuvenated energy, sort of again coming from that sense of enlightenment. I feel again spiritual cleansing and protection is definitely up here for you guys. But let's pull some more anyway. Oh lord, oh shit, sorry. That was my bad with the shuffling this time. We have the 7 of Pentacles, Temperance, and the 8 of Cups. Yeah, this is very spiritually focused, which is quite interesting. But then even just with that 7 of Pentacles being here still, I do feel like maybe for some of you, actually no, let me quickly mention this other message. I feel like as well, just aside from the spiritual side to this, in terms of particular dream or again goal that you've had for yourself, there is a lot of again doubt, I want to say, perhaps, or sort of lack of belief in, again, your capabilities here, which is quite interesting. And I feel like that Eight of Swords has also been representative of just you not allowing yourself to experience something new here. But that Seven of Pentacles is funny as well with Temperance, actually, that they represent a lot of patient energy, and again, this need to really trust. But more so the Seven of Pentacles, it does feel like, you just then you need to allow yourself time to maybe recuperate, again, hermit, maybe to brush up on your skills, or to brush up on something, dust off the cobwebs of something. Maybe it's just being easy on yourself, again, really taking your time here, and not putting any, again, unnecessary stress or added pressure onto yourself here. It's just, you have a goal, you have something you want to do, let's just focus on it, let's just keep going. But you don't need to beat yourself up at the end of the day. You don't need to even prevent yourself from even trying, and even knowing where things could take you, where you could be led to, and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what I was also sort of getting with that too. But back again to this sort of spiritual message, still, actually, yeah, with that patience, that patient energy, in terms of how you progress. 'Cause sometimes I feel like some people feel like, they're maybe not progressing as quick enough, or whatever it is, when it comes to their own spiritual journey. But at the end of the day, we're all different. We all came here for different reasons, so therefore we all have different timelines. We're all supposed to discover things at different times. We're all supposed to dabble in particular practices, let's say, at different times, or we're supposed to, again, discover things at different times. And so, yeah, again, patience, and making sure that you're not beating yourself up. And that Temperance card, I feel like, is also talking about just finally this great rebalance that comes through you acknowledging your spirit, and what, again, it's really calling to hear, because I feel like maybe something you could have been practicing before, or believing in before, maybe that, again, yourself anyway, wasn't really fulfilling you. It was still kind of creating this imbalance maybe around you energetically here, and again within your spirit. But funny, you have this Eight of Cups, which is yet again another card that kind of talks about really going within and allowing yourself to follow, again, what your heart and your spirit's really calling to, what is going to make you feel good, basically. And yeah, that Eight of Cups says you're walking towards what you're being spiritually called to, basically. And also, finally, being able to set sail in something that's gonna bring you so much, satisfaction, that's gonna bring you so much more joy as well. But yeah, it's quite interesting. What last cards can we get with the tarot before we get an oracle message as well? And it's interesting because I feel like there's a lot of you, again, that will be doing things, literally with your hands, whether that's through things that you're creating, maybe spiritually, in terms of products and services, or in even just simply in terms of, your personal life and your own healing, your own journey, creating, maybe your own things, or at least, when it comes to maybe doing, your own particular cleanses, again, it's you maybe creating a spiritual bath, or against something that you're really going to benefit from. So yeah, let's get some last messages. We have the World. Yeah, you're going towards a lot of success, a lot of sense of accomplishment and fulfillment. Again, Justice want to flip over, and I was talking about that sort of balance again within your spiritual energy here, and just, again, feeling a lot more aligned, connecting to something that's more fair, that's just literally to your own spiritual being. And the Page of Cups, and again, maybe some of you feel like there is this sense of needing to either like forgive yourself, or feeling sorry that maybe you took so long to get to this point, or that you were a part of something maybe before, or something like that. Again, it's like, don't sort of beat yourself up about it. You acknowledge it, and you sort of give thanks and move on, you know, from what you were still able to learn and take away from it, at the end of the day, that's going to help you to progress than something bigger and much better. Again, literally with this wild card, you know, and also how this is representative of you expanding and getting to know, you know, a lot more people now, making newer connections, perhaps, you know, spiritually, in regards to like your soul family and stuff like that. And so it's very, very important to not be closed-minded, or to not sort of shut yourself off to any of this, and to any sort of sociable energy as well that may come your way when it comes to your spirituality. But let's get an oracle card now. This one's too many. What the message can we get the group to? Adversity. And oh god, I don't know, I was about to shuffle more. Just one. Adversity, and it says, I accept that challenges are the best way to learn. And so even spiritual challenges, spiritual battles, you know, they always come with the biggest and the best lessons, honestly, sometimes at the end of the day, when you really look back on them here. And you know, any sort of that adversity maybe that you felt like you've faced sort of along the journey, or through, you know, the past with your spirituality, you know, you're very strong. And that star card being, you know, your first card, really talks about all of the healing, and again that strength you've been able to build from this, basically. But just because I naturally went to shuffle another card, I'm going to quickly get one more for you guys. And that's it. So wow, we have success. And there was a bit of a little message I was getting as well in regards to, I think, some of you needing to focus on something you want to maybe build and work on for yourself as well, because I forgot to say that star is literally, you know, about that recognition as well, you know, maybe something that you've done and will be doing being highlighted. And yeah, the success card is interesting though, because it says, I know that there is no greater goal than to love yourself, to love your beliefs, or what's calling you to love, you know, your work and all of that good stuff. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this reading. I think that's all that I've got for you guys. And so let's move on to group 3, last but not least. Oh wait, hold on, I was not supposed to put them back, because I think I'm going to take a picture as well for wherever I post this. So let's get some cards now for group 3. Okay, we have the 10 of Pentacles. Oh my god, 10 of Wands. I really don't know. Okay, maybe this is why I said that, because there's the Pentacles coming out next. We have the 5 of Pentacles. I'm already hearing some of you feeling like, you know, like saying, oh, this isn't getting me anywhere. Yeah, oh my god, that's so many. It was one. What do we have for group 3, please? The Lovers. Okay. Very, very interesting, because yeah, why I kind of said that was with that 10 of Wands and the 5 of Pentacles then coming out after. It feels like maybe some of you have been in somewhat of a challenging space, feeling as though you've been carrying again a lot of heavy and burdensome energy. You know, some of you may, I want to say, have responsibilities, like either you're the breadwinner, or, you know, you have these certain expectations maybe from other people, but at the same time it's like there's not been help at the same time, or enough support to kind of keep you going as much as you're maybe trying to keep going for others. And so yeah, this sense of abandonment, or feeling like you're out here on your own, or you've got to sort of tough it out with not much help or sort of consideration. But then also, interestingly enough, at the same time, I feel like for some of you on the other end of the spectrum, it's definitely a need to allow someone to come in, allow yourself to ask for help as well, not feeling as though you have to do everything on your own, or that there's something that just solely falls upon you if in your situation, you know that, you know, there is somebody that you can at least turn to for more help or support, or even just a bit more guidance if you truly have to sort of do this on your own here. Because it does feel like at the end of the day, you know, you're fighting towards or for something here, something that maybe you feel like will provide a bit better, provide a bit more, you know, for yourself or for those around you that you could be supporting. But interestingly, yeah, with this lovers card being here, makes me think of a lot of mirrored sort of equal energy here. And so yeah, that may be in the form of somebody who really cares about you, that really wants to come in and extend this help here. And it's like the lovers representing, you know, choice and sort of decision here. Of course, the ball is sort of in your court here to make a decision moving forwards with what you can do, you know, because again, even if like there are things that you sort of have to deal with, that you have to sort of carry, at least the few things that are in your control and that you can do is sort of ask for help again, or sort of allow a lot more mutual energy to come in. It's interesting because I feel like as well this is talking somewhat about, again, needing to just speak up and sort of voice and express your needs a lot better. But it's like that lovers, oh my god, I don't know why I keep saying it wrong. The lovers card is making me feel like you'll be received well though with it, you know. Again, there's this need to not worry, you know, and anticipate or expect sort of, you know, the worst, let's say, maybe from this. And so you'll really do yourself, you know, a good favor by allowing yourself to receive, allowing yourself to maybe let somebody in as well, because if there's a bit of a romantic energy around this for some of you as well, you know, could be talking about how maybe in the past you have been somebody typically to carry a lot of the burdens, or again carry the relationship forwards, you know. The sort of person where it's like, if you gave up, then things maybe will fall apart or whatever it is. Or again, being in connections where you weren't taken into consideration a lot, or sort of feeling as if, you know, you're talking to a brick wall or something like that. This lovers feels like there's somebody that again is on equal page here, or at least willing to be with you, you know, but there may be still somewhat of this nervousness, or again this sort of temptation to not let that come through. But let's keep going and see what other card we can get actually. We have the 5 of Cups. Neo, stop. Sorry. The 6 of Cups and Neo, leave my bag alone. Oh, okay, interesting. These two came out together. The Knight of Cups came out behind this Ace of Cups. Not Ace of Swords, sorry. And so yeah, actually just going off of what I was saying in terms of the sort of romantic energy that I was getting, maybe here, yeah, is definitely perhaps a bit of this reflection of the past that is still on your mind here. I don't feel like this is talking about someone from the past sort of returning here, you even necessarily dealing with someone for the past, but it just feels like there's a lot of reflection here still. There is clearly, you know, a lot of your energy is still sort of drawn perhaps to this. But what is great though, that Ace of Swords comes in and says, you know, your mind's being refreshed here, that you'll be able to have better, newer thoughts on, you know, your romantic life, or, you know, your potential here. Again, maybe representative also of newer connections and like sort of conversations that you could be having. This Knight of Cups maybe in regards to these conversations specifically, you know, and you being able to hear again a lot more nurturing, a lot more caring and loving and supportive words from somebody here. It really does feel like it's funny because it feels like group 3, there's somebody that really fucking cares for you and has seen maybe even you go through a lot, has seen you struggle, and just wants you to kind of come out from that, wants you to think better, wants you to be more hopeful, wants you to have better for yourself, you know. But again, you got to allow that for yourself though as well at the end of the day. That Six of Cups is another card as well that can really, with the Lovers it being here too, really talk about, you know, a real serious and sort of deep connection here. And no, I don't necessarily feel like it means like soulmate energy, because there are many other sort of connections we have in our lives that have the ability to be very impactful and deep, and it doesn't mean that you know they're necessarily a soulmate. But I do feel a very strong connection here, you know, at least somebody that's on the same page. Sorry, Leo, stop. But let's get a few more cards and see what else we have before I get an oracle, because this is actually a lot more longer than I was expecting in total. The Ace of Wands, the 2 aces, and I think across all readings we have 3 of the aces together, so this is great. A lot more new energy coming towards everyone. And I don't know why I keep getting my words all tongue-tied. The 8 of Pentacles. Oh wow, way too many. The 10 of Swords. And so with the Ace of Wands being here, you know, that's again finally new sort of passionate and fun vibes and energy. Sorry, Neo, it's not the time to play. Coming your way again, maybe even through for some of you this particular romantic connection here. But I do feel like it's also representing this inspiring energy of you feeling confident and bold enough maybe to speak up again against this 10 of Wands feeling, and you know, the need to be like, okay, hey, I've had enough of this, or you know, I need help, or whatever it is, you know, that you're needing to do here. And that 8 of Pentacles is also getting you to make sure that, you know, you're paying close attention to the finer things, you know, moving forwards here, because it's interesting. I do want to say it's like maybe it's weird how sometimes when we do express again our stresses or our needs to some people, they take it in the wrong way, I want to say. And I feel like it comes through this 10 of Swords, and whether that is the case, you know, and you decide, okay, well, this is something that can no longer run for me, or I just need to sort of completely dead it here, then then that may be the case for you. But of course, you're going to use your own discernment at the end of the day. But I definitely feel like, you know, you're actively wanting better for yourself here, moving forward, wanting to feel a lot better here. And I definitely feel, just based off the feeling, that a lot of you will be feeling some things and having some fun for sure. It feels like but yeah, let's get an oracle card now. Neo, stop, please. Can you stop? Get up. Guys, do you see this? Neo, let me get the oracle, please. Oh, wow. Patience. You need some of that, sir. And it says, I accept that everything happens in divine order. For some of you as well, definitely emphasizing in regards to romantic connection as well, not trying to rush anything, and understanding that it truly will come at the right time, you know, for both parties here as well. And I feel like just going back to those that may have again been struggling, may have been going through some difficult and challenging times, you know, oh Lord, you're trying to hit me. This shift and this change again is something that is coming for sure. And but certainly remember that it will happen at the right time, you know, in divine timing, when, you know, the universe knows that you're ready for it. And it definitely feels like it is, but at least that first step comes through opening up and allowing someone in to really help, you know, with what you're going through. And so yeah, I think that is all that we have for this general reading. Did not expect it to be this long at all. But I hope you all thoroughly enjoyed. Please don't be afraid to let me know if any of the messages resonated below, your thoughts, whatever. Again, check out my website for more personal readings, and I'll catch you on the next one.